think I started TV around 2006 because I thought I had, being involved with the Dent Advisors Network, I thought I had a unique message, and that's the economy was going to peak in 2008 and suffer a dramatic decline. And that was all based on demographics. And I'll just give you a quick example of that. When a client comes in and they tell you their retirement goals and they say, I'd like to retire in 5 years and then I want to move to Florida or I want to downsize my house. Well, wouldn't it be a good idea to know what the economy was like in regards to housing? And Harry, one of the simplest equations that I can relate is Harry's philosophy on real estate. The average person buys their biggest house when they're about 40, I think it was 47 years old. That's when the average person buys the biggest house. That doesn't mean somebody doesn't buy their biggest house when they're 53 and somebody doesn't buy their biggest house when they're 43. That's the average. And if you know when the greatest number of Americans were born, and you add 47 to that, you can know, I think, very closely when real estate should peak, at least in the near term. And of course, the greatest amount of Americans were born in 1961. You add 47 to 61, you get 2008. And I was utterly convinced that Harry was onto something, and that it just made so much sense to me from an economic standpoint that if less people were going to be buying their biggest house, that then all the big houses would have to suffer in terms of their values. And so if a client came to me in 2005 and said, I've got this big house, I don't have kids anymore, I'd like to downsize and then retire into a smaller place. And when do you want to retire? Well, I want to retire in 3 years. Well, 3 years, 2008. Maybe you should sell the house now and downsize before you retire so that you can capitalize on all this great value that you've built up in their house.
Exactly.
And then buy the smaller house. Yeah, it'll go down too, but unless you're going to rent, and most people aren't going to rent, unless you're going to rent, which would be the perfect thing to do because you're going to be able to buy a house much cheaper in 2008 or 9 than you are today, then that would be great for your financial plan. And we just spread the gospel of the crash that was coming in 2008. And I think a lot of that attributed to my success in getting on TV. And then on staying on TV, I think it was kind of, here I was in the zero, what do they call it when where the atomic bomb goes off. I was in that rate. I was in Detroit, which seemed to be a popular place for people to hear about how bad things really could be.